Welcome back to Talk of the Town. With me now, I have our news partner with the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, Monona. This is Eric Hewitt. He's a pharmacist over there and also the owner. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks again for having me back.
And we are kind of talking about end of the year things, going into the new year, a lot to be thinking about when it comes to what you may be ordering at the pharmacy.
Yep.
And so in previous topics, we've talked about Medicare Part D and also the Affordable Care Act enrollment. So when is the deadline to sign up for a new plan in 2017?
Yeah, it's basically now.
Yeah.
It's December 7th, so we're depending on when what show you're watching.
Yeah.
Over the next week, it might already be passed. But the open enrollment started on November 15th. It goes through December 7th. So you kind of have just a day, depending on what time you see the show, to get that taken care of for the upcoming year. So for 2017's plan year.
So hopefully you're on top
You've already
of
done it, yes.
If you're good, you should have already done it by
Yes.
now, right? You've had
Yes.
plenty of time. And so if a person does sign up for a new plan, does the pharmacy automatically get notified? And if not, what should you bring?
Yeah, that's a common thing that we get all the time. People do change plans. Sometimes it's not even at the end of the year. Sometimes it's just a new job or things like that. The pharmacy does not get notified. There's no database or, kind of mass email or notification system that gets sent out. So the best way to notify your pharmacy and your pharmacist of an insurance change like that is when you get those cards in the mail, just drop them by the pharmacy. We'll make a copy of them so we have them on file. And especially these people that might be changing plans for the first of the year. Bring them in whenever you get them. We'll hold on to them, and then we'll update the insurance information after the first, and that way it's just kind of a smoother transition.
And that's great to know, too, if you have made those changes, kind of like what we were talking about previously, but maybe you haven't taken that step yet.
Right.
So it's important to remember that you do need to make that step. I'm
Yeah.
sure it would be nice if they just
It
notified
helps,
everybody.
Yeah, it helps us out, but then it's more convenient for the patients, too.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to worry about waiting extra, time to have that corrected.
Now, how about besides changing plans, what else should patients be aware of for the end of the year?
There's a couple of things. A lot of times, whether you're changing plans or not, a lot of times plans start over after the first of the year. So
Sure.
If you have a deductible where you're going to be paying full price for your medications again, that oftentimes will start again after the first of the year. So getting in some last, fills before the end of the year, before your deductible starts over, is a good idea. A lot of people have health savings accounts these days that they can pay for their prescriptions and some over-the-counter items that may have money that needs to be used up by the end of the year. That's another thing that's a good thing to get taken care of before the year starts over, before you lose that money, those types of things.
Now, I know you mentioned deductibles, and I know I admittedly don't know a ton about this area, just pharmaceuticals in general, and there's just so much to know out there. So let's focus on that for a little bit. What is a deductible for those who may be kind of unsure?
Sure. A deductible usually, like I said, starts a plan year, and what that is the patient will pay full price for their in my industry for their medications until that deductible is met. So some Part D plans, a lot of them out there are $400. So that means the first $400 in medications that you're receiving at the pharmacy, you're going to have to pay out of pocket for.
Right.
The insurance company is not going to pay anything. And then after that $400 is spent at the pharmacy, then the insurance company will kick in money and you will pay less for your prescriptions. So a lot of times that starts over at the first of the year and people have that kind of sticker shock when that starts over.
Right.
So if you can get in fills before the end of the year and avoid that, that would be good.
So if a person fills a prescription before the new year, but you don't pick it up until after the new year, is it considered to be filled in 2016 or 2017?
We get this a lot too. It's based on when it was filled through the system.
Okay.
So as long as it was filled on the 31st, we are open on New Year's Eve till noon. So if it's filled on that day, it's technically considered filled in 2016. If you don't pick it up till we reopen on the 2nd, then it's still considered a 2016 medication. You'll still get it in the 2016 year.
That's good to know. And
Yeah.
you also mentioned health savings accounts and
Yeah.
unused funds. So what is the best way to use those funds before they're lost and 2017 begins?
Yeah. Obviously, I think the most obvious question is if there's fills for prescriptions that you can get before the end of the year, I would do that. Mm-hmm. And you'd have to check with your pharmacist and in the pharmacy to see if it'll go through insurance. The other thing is a lot of times you have to check with your health savings account because everything's a little bit different, but a lot of times they'll have over-the-counter products that you can purchase.
Sure.
Even simple things like Band-Aids or aspirin or Tylenol, that type of stuff, where you could get that maybe on your health savings account and get that money paid for so you don't lose that money that you've set aside for health issues that year.
Absolutely. And again, Eric Hewitt with the Medicine Shop Pharmacy Monona. Always so much information. I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks again for having me.
And thank you to all of our guests, and thank you for watching today. You can find us next time only on Talk of the Town on Wisconsin's 57.